In a world where our friends call us not us united and our enemies call us midnight rain, two dudes must learn to podcast as the Fremen do in order to survive the desert planet of endless content. We don't care how many enemies we have. They'll never be prepared for us. Not us united.
What? Just you.
Are you ready to let me cook? It is that time of the season where the pumpkin spice must flow.
Yeah.
How many pumpkin infused drinks have you had so far?
None.
None.
Actually,
Okay.
I'm not the biggest pumpkin spice fan. I'm trying. I think I got burned by coffee recently.
Oh no!
Because I went to a spot and I paid like $6 for a coffee.
Yeah.
And I like a hot drink.
So you got a deal.
But I got no. I know exactly. So, but I like hot drinks, so I ordered like a latte.
And
But
it burned your mouth?
No, but they assumed they gave me a cold one, and I just don't like cold coffee that much, or I can
Now
make it at
ruined
home.
the taste.
No, and it was just like I paid $6 for this. No.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I mean I still like coffee. But I'm like not going out for it as much,
Dang.
so I'll make it at home.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I have gone full snob mode,
Yeah.
and
Heard.
it's to the point now where like some of my old coffee that I like thoroughly enjoy.
Like you got like a blitzer, like a grinder.
I
and
do
you're
have a
making,
new
like, normal
grinder,
coffee
yeah.
there, but like
But I'm
that's
saying like
blown out of the
my
water.
my old coffee that I used to make even just 2 weeks ago is like not good anymore.
Wow.
And that stuff got me through years
Wow.
of bad coffee. So, but I have had a few pumpkin infused drinks, including today, because I got some new pumpkin spice
Wow.
creamer.
For your espresso? You
So
can do
I'm
that?
making some
Like a latte
espressos
kinda
and
stuff?
then just a little dollop in there.
Wow.
Make it breathe. And dude, hello fall, baby. Something about when the degrees go down from like 75 to 74 too. It's just like, whew, let's get that scarf on. It's go time.
There's a point like tonight was probably the coldest night we've had in a while, and I'm like, just get me in like some flannel.
Just let's get cozy. Let's
Yeah.
watch Footloose. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just a movie.
Never seen Footloose.
Okay.
Because you gotta cut loose.
Wow.
Sometimes you don't know who you're with.
I think next week we're gonna do Footloose.
Okay.
Maybe both Footloose.
There's two.
Footlooses.
Oh, there's two Footlooses.
There's a remake.
Oh,
and then there's
Footlooser.
the Kevin Bacon, the original.
Well, I know. Yeah.
And then there's like one that was made about 10 years ago.
And
it
is
was
it
a
good?
remake. No.
Oh.
But Miles Teller's in it.
Oh, he
And he
Footloosed.
dances. So that's
Wow.
cool.
A man known to have 2 feet.
Before being Goose's son, he is Ren McCormick's friend.
Yeah, sure.
I forget what his name was.
Cool.
Anyway, we'll have to watch Footloose.
These are references I don't understand.
We'll have to watch Footloose. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Yeah, just a great film about being young and old people being crazy.
Yeah. I think this sounds like a great idea, except that I don't like dancing, and I am appalled by it. So if there's any dancing about this movie...
I went to your wedding.
Yeah.
That's very untrue.
I think
You like to get jiggy with it.
Footloose played at our wedding. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I mean, I think it's like
because you got to
you
cut
got
loose.
to, right? Yeah, it gets people on the dance floor for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what does get people on the dance floor, though, for sure.
Yeah? Let me
And
hear
that is,
it. Let me
and that
hear it.
is Rachel McAdams movies.
If I'm ever sitting at a table and someone's like, Rachel McAdams, dude, my body's moving.
I'm just like, let's go.
Where's the dance floor? Because I'm on it.
Yeah, the movies are all time.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite actresses, if not my favorite actress. No, she is my favorite actress
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
I think she could be dethroned soon-ish. I'm really liking Rebecca Ferguson's work, but Rachel McAdams is just a queen who the kids would say is slaying. You know what I mean?
No crumbs.
She is leaving no crumbs.
She is her.
She is her,
Yeah.
for sure.
She's been her.
She has for a long time.
Mhm.
And so we're going to honor her career.
Yeah.
by doing a movie draft.
Of course.
Much like we did in the last couple weeks with Matt Damon and Tom Cruise
Yeah.
and Patrick Wilson before that.
Never forget Patrick Wilson.
Patty Will.
The highest honor that we can give someone is doing a movie draft about them.
Amen.
And so
there's probably a few more in the future. We'll see. But yeah, we needed to bring Rachel McAdams into the fold.
Into United verse.
She's a new now.
Yeah.
So
Rachel McNew.
Ooh,
Yes, that's something.
it's not your best work, but it's mid.
So is that a 5?
I wouldn't say it's straight fire.
Because you said before either my joke range is 1 or a 10, so maybe that must be a 1 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just being nice.
Yeah. It was fine. Okay, so we rolled dice beforehand.
Yes.
I won the dice roll.
God said you can have your favorite movie of all time. Because even before this, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. If I roll higher than you, I will steal.
You were
this
very
movie.
bold in like what movie you're going to take, and the hard part about this is she's got some very, very good films. Enough that this is going to be, I think, still very competitive, regardless of what picks we get.
I think I have 2 good choices right after you. So
But I think it would be a travesty if I
Nick
let...
won the dice
Yeah,
roll.
yeah,
I don't know if we said that.
So we're gonna do a quick 4 picks each time, or each person, and do a little snake draft style, and then we'll talk about the movies and why we like them so much.
Okay.
And Rachel, I assume you're listening. Thank you for your work. I would love to meet you one day and let you know in person that you have changed my life.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, I will be going first.
Yep.
And I will be selecting
Are you gonna do it?
the 2013 film About Time.
Okay. Good.
My current and has been since 2014 or whenever I watched it, favorite movie of all time.
I would be shocked. Nay,
I know.
appalled.
It's just I
Is it
know
her
there's
best work?
there are technically movies that people will know her for more and that are great, and I was like, but she's excellent in About Time, and it is the best movie of all time, and she's great. So
You gotta stand by your guts.
I got to.
This is like
It's so good.
Yeah.
The movie is so good, and she is a pivotal part of that movie. So I will stick to my guns. About Time. I just hope you don't take at least my number 2 pick.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Let's see here. About Time. You gotta do it. I'm glad that I didn't take it from you, because then I would feel bad for about 1 week.
That's fair. I
So,
appreciate that.
therefore, I get 2 picks now, and boy howdy.
Boy howdy.
Boy howdy. We got 2 picks right off the gate. Here we go.
Don't.
I'm doing it. We got probably my favorite Rachel McAdams movie, Mean Girls.
Great pick.
She is fantastic in that movie.
Of course she is.
I didn't know that was her until later on in her career.
Like yesterday?
Yeah, probably. No, it's just like you watch the movie and then like years later you're like, oh, I know more about movies and know like actors and actresses and stuff. And I didn't know that was her.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
good for her. She's Regina George.
Yes.
Incredible movie. It is Wednesday, and
a great
unfortunately
movie.
we're not wearing pink. But
Oh, it's true. It is a Wednesday, and we aren't wearing... Oh, and I almost wore pink shorts.
You
tonight.
did.
Yeah, dang.
Wow.
Feel bad.
yeah, you should. I don't.
I think it would have given away my pick too fast.
But
We'll see.
you would. What are you picking? Mean Girls 2?
We'll see.
She's not even in that.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, I know. I'm saying
Yeah.
I like this movie. I probably would have picked it too.
Okay, cool. My second choice,
Careful.
Notebook.
Damn it.
The Notebook.
Come
to be fair.
on.
What else am I gonna pick? Mean Girls and The Notebook.
Those were the right...
All right, you get 3 more choices, and because I quit, because I won.
Not necessarily. There's still a incredible film that she's a part of that you didn't pick, and I think it is an all-timer.
Okay.
Possibly top 50,
Wow.
and that would be Spotlight.
Okay, that was almost my second choice.
Great film. Horrible premise,
but good movie.
but I'm glad it shined a spotlight on what it did. And then my next
That was
pick.
a good use of the title that was the movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next one, she has a few of these movies that kind of can feel similar, but this is the most unique performance, I think, for my next pick, which will be The Time Traveler's Wife.
Okay, sure.
This one, it's post Notebook, but she kind of does like the trilogy of romantic. They're not comedies. They're almost like romantic dramas, I guess. With The Notebook, Time Traveler's Wife, and then there's The Vow.
Oh yeah.
Which maybe isn't going to be one of your future picks, but this one in particular is nice. Yes, I did technically pick two movies where she is married to a time traveler, but this one takes a different turn on the time traveler aspect in that he can't control when he teleports, and he goes back and forth in time, and so there's actually times when he meets a future version of herself. He goes back in time before he actually has ever met her, and it's just this like incredible. She has to play so many people at different times throughout the film, and then there's a heart-wrenching scene at the end where they both know that this will be the last time that he teleports forward. So this will actually like truly be the last time she sees him, and she's just running like crazy to get to him because she remembers the area and all this stuff. Super sad. She killed it. She was on fire that entire decade.
Yeah, I feel like something about time travel and love. It just works, man.
Dude. It leaves zero crumbs.
Yep.
And it always gets the dub. Every time.
Is there a point where we can't say Gen Z or like young stuff? Like when can we not say there are no crumbs?
I think
left?
there's a couple options where we stop. We probably will be when we find out that the demographic that we are reaching has a median age that's not even close. So if we were like killing it with the Gen A people, you know, like the way old people, Gen Alpha, whatever.
That's the new one. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay. The first
baby boomers?
the baby boomers. Yeah, if we're like killing it with the boomers, then maybe we'll like dial it back a little bit more and say stuff about like, I don't know, the old days and you know, they don't make them like they used to.
War.
War.
World War
classic.
II, am I right?
But for now, as I am him, I will continue to talk this way until our, audience either cancels us or, they don't want me to do it anymore. Yeah.
Fam.
Lit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to lean into our roots of mid 2000s.
Okay.
Lingo.
Oh,
I think we need to spike our hair. And
you want to go full okay.
Yeah, boy band.
Boy band.
If we had a boy band, if it's just the two of us, is that considered a boy band?
I think you and I'd be a good Lifehouse.
Yeah.
Which is also featured in Time Traveler's Wife.
There you go. Wow, it's a full circle.
Full circle.
Wow.
They had a banger of a couple songs in that movie.
Oh yeah, Lifehouse was good.
Lifehouse was great.
We could be a Lifehouse Part 2.
They have this great song called "Broken." I think it's the one that's like I'm falling apart, I'm barely breathing. That was the Time Traveler song.
Yeah.
But there's a part where he just kind of has that alternative sounding voice, so he's kind of raspy or whatever. There's a part where he says, "I may have lost my way now," but the way his voice I may have lost my wiener.
Oh no, yeah, no, that part. Yep.
And if you listen to it, you'll never not hear it the same way again. He says wiener for sure.
Oh, 100%.
100.
He said that, and they just had to type it out real quick. Whoops.
So I don't know what it says on Spotify lyrics, but may have lost his wiener for sure.
100% that's what he said.
So anyway, go back and listen to that.
If we had a boy band, what would the name be?
Besides Not Us United?
Yeah.
Catch These Hands. And these would be spelled D-E-E-Z.
Yeah, yep. Our first album is Let Us Cook.
Let Us Cook. Yeah. Yeah. We Are Him.
We Are Him is the
first
Ooh, that'd
track.
be a
great band name too.
Yeah, We Are Him.
We Are Him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like that.
Perfect.
Just ideas flying around.
All right. All
Okay.
right. What's your
Let's
last
get
two
this
picks?
back on track, Nicholas. And
Also, just shout outs to Rachel if you're listening. I loved you in True Detective. I just can't pick it because
Yeah.
it's a TV show.
Yeah.
So, God bless.
also, thank you for sticking with us through everything we just said.
Yeah, if you're actually listening to this, that's super cool. Thanks.
Both Rachel McAdams and literally anyone else who's
Yeah.
still listening to this podcast right now.
Sure. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All those Gen Zers.
Yeah. We hit our demographic.
The fathers are fathering, you know? Anyway,
Yep.
go ahead.
That's you, a father.
So are you. You got a dog.
Thanks, buddy. You finally
Yeah.
accepted it.
Equal, yeah. They're
Yeah.
the exact same
It's
thing.
like the same thing.
Yep.
Except, I mean, mine's a little harder.
Yeah, and you had to pay for yours.
Well, you also had to pay?
I mean, I had to pay bills, but
Yeah.
I didn't, like, buy
Mm-hmm.
my...
I had the option, which is probably even the harder.
And we're done. Okay, go.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. Which is harder. No, you don't need to apologize.
I had to
It's fine.
intentionally choose to.
You're insane. Okay. 3 and 4. What do you got?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
I just hope you don't take my pick.
I don't think I am because I don't know what to pick.
Well, I'm glad you got the Notebook. You obviously.
Okay. See, there's a choice that I think you're gonna pick.
Okay. Which Doctor Strange?
Exactly, but I don't know if she's necessarily like her. You know, she isn't her in those movies.
Christine Palmer.
Yeah.
She's the anchor of the entire film.
No, she's not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then don't pick it.
Stop winking at me. Don't like it.
Man, I got you right where I want you.
I
You're a
don't
little
like this.
Scarlet
I'm
Witch.
trying to pick something where she's nice. Thanks. Where she's okay. So what do I have? Mean Girls and The Notebook. Okay. Let's.
Okay, I'm glad we've established.
Yeah. Let's do.
Come on. Hit me with that straight fire, chef.
Fine. I'll pick the first Doctor Strange.
Wow. Not even in my top 8.
Cool. I'll pick that just because I know your wife likes it, and so
She does.
Yeah. So she's.
I don't
gonna
know if
pick
she
my
likes
list.
it because Rachel McAdams did it.
I know,
yeah.
but there it is.
Oh man, I'm just gonna bury you. Oh man, this is gonna be like you and me doing Matt Damon, except I'm on the other team.
Oh no, is that the Titan AE of this
I
episode?
don't know, we'll see. Hey, I think Rachel McAdams kills it in that movie.
I think
So it's fine.
She's there. Okay. Oh, I don't
Also,
know.
I can't just call her Rachel. Isn't it funny how I can say Tom Cruise and then I can just call him Tom for the rest of the conversation? I have to say Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, it's just flows.
It's a great name.
I don't think I say just Tom. I would say Tom Cruise.
You don't say Tommy C? I feel like you do. Mr. Maverick? I think, yeah. Anyway.
Mr. Maverick, the Tom Cruise. Okay.
Last pick.
Last pick. This is a bold choice. Midnight in Paris.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great, Chef.
Okay. Heard.
Yeah, no, that's a strong 4. That's a strong 4.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Do you?
Okay.
You heard it here. I get the win. Okay. Round us out, Nikki K.
I
AKA
think
Maverick of
there
this
is
podcast.
a crazy slept-on movie that Rachel McAdams is a part of.
You can't pick About Time twice.
I'm not. I will be going with one of my favorite comedies of all time, and it is called Game Night.
Game Night is a good movie.
Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams and a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And this is something I've always given Rachel McKay
Rachie Rage.
credit for, is that while there is a season of her career where it's like, oh yeah, she played kind of that same character.
The love interest.
Yeah, whatever. There was like a time where she was doing all of these other films where I just felt like she was taking swings. She's in like comedies. She's in True Detective. She's in Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
She's in like, she just does like, she didn't have to do, like she had her like sweet spot, and I think she could have milked that, and it wouldn't have gotten stale because she's just that good of an actress. But I appreciate when she does something silly like a murder mystery comedy. That's absurd. Or like the Eurovision where she's like singing Icelandic whatever. Like it's just, you didn't have to do that, especially at this point of your career where you could probably just be like, I'd like to do this and this. I don't know. I'm assuming, but she seems to be like,
She's got range.
yeah, she's got. So I just appreciate the diversity of roles that she's taken on. So,
because I feel like we could have gone like the whole just rom-com, or just even romantic.
Yeah,
rom-
you know,
I don't
there's
think- I think
like
she has kind of felt that like initially when you think of Rachel McAdams, I think you do go for that. Oh, she's just a romance actress, which is like
yeah, but there's like the Morning Glory, or there's like there's another couple like serious other films that she's a part of. I just haven't watched them in forever, but yeah, she's in other things, or she's not like always necessarily the lead romantic person, but maybe just the friend that like is the side actor for the main character or something. So I've just always appreciated that, because typically when people find their thing, they just stick with it. You know, like a good person that I've always used as an example for that is like The Rock. I'm not saying he's bad,
but you take a screenshot from any movie.
but
and
yeah,
it
like could he be
anything.
from like what movie is he a part of that he is playing something so distinctly different from what he was previously playing, you know? And if that's his thing, go make money, my guy, like kill it. But I have appreciated when I see like the chameleon side of like actors where they truly like embody different characters. And Rachel McAdams isn't afraid to play, you know, any of those things. She can be the butt of a joke in like Wedding Crashers, where she's like the silly character. She can be Regina George, where she's just like straight up like the scariest
villain
bully you can think of in high school. And then literally like the same year be the one who's making you cry because she's playing this incredible actress in The Notebook, you know, which is just all time, dude. I love The Notebook.
Yeah. That sucks. That's on my list.
I know. I love The Notebook so much. So sad.
Looking back at our draft, would you take About Time for two? Like, I got to pick two movies. Is About Time worth two movies in your mind, instead of like The Notebook and like Mean Girls, like I picked?
Yes. So I think, and I've already ranted enough about Time on this podcast through probably out a third of our episodes, so I'm not going to, but there are similar types of movies that she's done, i.e. The Vow, Time Traveler's Wife, those sorts of things, where I felt like this just elevated it beyond being just another thing about love completely. And About Time went beyond that. It was, yes, he was finding love, and that was part of the movie, but it's much more beyond. He's actually finding like how to be like content and present in a life where he could choose to redo everything. And I think that's just incredible that a film like that exists, and it's not talked about ever. But when it is, it's everybody's like, everyone just is like, I love that movie so much. Or no one's ever heard of it in their life.
I never heard about it until you talked about it, and I'm forever grateful for that. It's a great. It's I mean,
movie. I'll scream it for forever, and I don't think it's gonna get. I don't think it's going to get demoted from first place in my mind unless something just absolutely delivers something that I just haven't seen in theaters before. So
like Dune 2.
Dune 2, but even Dune 2 has, like other things to compare to, and it might be the best version of that. But like theatrically, Avengers Endgame was probably one of the best like theater experiences I've ever been a part of. So like Dune 2 would have
It's
to
not
be
gonna
like,
beat that.
is it going to beat the theater experience? Maybe not. Is it going to do this incredibly unique story well? And if it does, then maybe I would say that,
And even then, you always have the book to kind of lean back
true,
on,
too.
or even the
Yeah.
first movie of like, oh, this was great.
Yeah,
But About Time is wholly unique
it's true.
in its conception and realization.
Dude, it's so good.
It is
So
really
no, I'm okay. I do think if you would have not picked either of those, I think I could have easily,
snatched the
buried
other one, yeah.
you.
Oh, I agree.
because I do think About Time is the greatest film that she happens to be a part of. I do think The Notebook is probably one of her best performances.
Her best, yes.
And so, you taking or Mean Girls.
I think those are her two best, like,
iconic. Yeah.
Iconic Rachel McAdams moments
agree.
in movies.
Yeah. So I got her two like serious ones, or I got two serious ones that she's a part of. You got the funny, and then just like the perfect
classic.
romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have a pretty balanced list.
I think it is
Yeah.
about as balanced as it could have been.
Now it's up
This
to the
is like a
people.
game of tic-tac-toe where we all made the right moves, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Based off of who went before.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there any movies you want to dive deeper into, or do you feel like we just need to let
Mm.
the audience take this one and let us know what they think?
Well, in classic Michael fashion, I've only seen 10 minutes of Midnight in Paris.
Oh, really?
So tell me about that.
Sure.
I just know I
Yeah.
will enjoy this movie.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's a good. The whole thesis of Midnight in Paris is that every era always thinks the era before it was cooler than what they're currently in. And so Owen Wilson finds himself walking through Paris and is like, wow, this place used to be so cool. I would love to have done parties like in the up and coming like Paris when it was like alive and doing all these things. And his fiance is Rachel McAdams, and she's like not interested in the history or whatever. And so he just finally goes out for a walk one night, and a car swings by, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come party with us?" And it just happens to be F. Scott Fitzgerald and some other like authors around that time. And when he rides in that car, it technically takes him back in time to when they existed. And so he gets to do it. So
Is she involved in the movie a lot?
she
then, or?
is not really. Like she's in it where he has like conflicting thoughts because he kind of starts to fall in love with somebody and not from this time, and but he's with her, but then she also is like super okay with him like leaving a bunch, so their relationship isn't very healthy. So this is by far the like one of the more unsavory characters that Rachel McAdams has played, because she kind of sucks. Her character sucks.
Right.
But she doesn't have as prominent of a part, I would say. So you still picked a great movie that you could probably use the excuse of like, well, she was a part of a great thing, like great ensemble cast.
Is it like
so
equal to picking Interstellar for Matt Damon?
it would be like picking Interstellar for Anne Hathaway.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in it. She's a pretty pivotal character in Interstellar. She's like a good like minor.
Yeah. But is probably only in a quarter of the scenes.
Yeah.
Because Anne Hathaway's like there, but she's really like, if you really think about screen time, Anne Hathaway really only has like 20 lines of dialogue in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And that's kind of what Rachel McAdams is. Maybe she's more like Michael Caine. Maybe that's closer
That's
to
probably
like what it would be.
Okay.
Where it's like, hey, kind of some big chunks, but then just like not non-existent. So
Well, question, because we have some time.
yeah,
You said Midnight in Paris is kind of about like people feeling nostalgic for the times that came before, or just saying that past times were better. I see that, and in a certain respect, agree with that. But not all the way. Like I enjoy living
right.
in the time we are now, and I think we are living in a generally good time.
Yeah.
But I think people can look back culturally of like, oh, people like really into like the Beatles or 70s music or whatever. Do you find yourself feeling that way of like nostalgic for maybe movies of the time or like culture of the time or different aspects that like, oh, if I if I were to meet F. Scott Fitzgerald, it'd be incredible. But would it maybe live up to that hype? Because then he's.
I think there
looking
are
back.
definitely certain aspects to the past with like the knowledge that we have now, but I think the hard part is I wouldn't have that knowledge when I lived during those times. And so that's what's hard is I don't think a lot of people understand you wouldn't value those things and until you've experienced what life is like without it. Like so there's things that I would love to I think the era I would probably jump back into is like late 70s, early 80s, kind of Stranger Things-y times. I would love to have seen like certain bands for like the first time before like they got big. That would be super cool. I would enjoy buying houses for like $5.
That
would
be good.
that'd
yeah.
be sick.
Yeah.
Or like college just being like not like there's certain things like that. I think also Hollywood back then was a little bit more like Wild West, where it was like we just like went into this town and there were these boys playing baseball and they all look kind of like the characters we needed, so they just got roles and now they're Rob Lowe. And you're just like, what the frick? That's how people like got Hollywood jobs back then?
Or just people got
Whereas
jobs. 'Cause
now,
they're like, oh, you're
yeah,
a young person.
it doesn't feel quite, and I'm not an expert at all in how Hollywood works, but it does feel very like, oh, your parents are cameramen or like involved with
Sure. You're
this or whatever. It's like, how
system.
do you even, how do you break into the system now without something incredibly like miraculous happening? And so it's just funny hearing some of those stories where there's like, yeah, we all like had $10 to our name. We just like spent enough gas to get to Hollywood, and then they picked us up, and
We became
now
stars.
we're in this movie, and it was called Dirty Dancing. And it's like, what the frick? Are you for real? Like, I want to be an extra in Dirty Dancing and then just have a career. That sounds awesome. But again, retrospect, maybe there was also just a lot of shitty stuff that those people had to deal with too. And so it's just, it's always, and that's the whole premise of that film is no matter how good you think that would have been, trust me, this is, here's the worst part about those things. And so he gets sad because the lady he falls in love with isn't present enough in her time, because she really thinks that 50 years before her time would have just been
that's when it was
all the innovation and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh, this is just a plague that affects everyone. It makes them great writers, it makes them have these really cool muses, but no one's like there because no one's living in the present, they're all living somewhere else, kind of a thing. So it's like,
just we always want what we don't have,
Yeah, and then it has a lot to say. I feel like there's also a good character played by Michael Sheen. You may know him as the lead vampire from the Volturi in Twilight.
Whoa.
That's definitely not his most iconic role, but God, I love that guy. But he is like the guy who knows everything about all the museums and all the stuff. But it's funny because Owen Wilson has some times where he gets to challenge him and be like, oh no, I think it was actually this person, because he literally gets to relive some of those moments and be like, no, I think you're wrong. And he's like, just can't deal with it. It's like, even our knowledge of like past things isn't perfect either. And so people like sometimes priding themselves on the intelligence of having all this knowledge of the past isn't quite right either, which also plagues why you would think that time would be awesome, Right. And so then you go back there and you're like, wait, I didn't know this was like this or that or whatever. So it always seems cool. And I think the only way to do time travel is to just go back and do like one event and then just kill the machine. Just destroy it. Because I think it's only good for like a visit. I don't think it's good for us to live in a time that we were not born in.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Let's go back and see One Kiss concert and you're done.
Yep. No butterfly effect, just... And I mean, I know it exists. Time travel exists. It's happening right now. But...
We are time traveling. We technically are, because people are listening to this and it already is in the past. Like, our past is their future.
Okay, Bruce Banner.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah. Let me get a whiteboard. I got you.
What about you? What era would you visit?
I mean, I think I think like I enjoy. I think I used to want to go back. Yeah, I was a big Beatles fan. I'm like, oh,
Sure.
I love the Beatles and
Been there.
and rock and all and like like 70s rock. I was into that in like high school.
It's a hell of a drug.
But I'm just like I'm enjoying where I am now and like
Love it.
what I have. Like we have everything.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can get whatever I want
Wow.
in like 2 seconds. You know.
Are
Like
you the main character from About Time?
yeah,
Wow. Are you Tim?
I am him.
Oh, word did it. Oh.
Like I could listen to anything
It's true.
on my phone.
Yeah.
But just like in like trying to enjoy what I have now. Like I think like a lot
100%.
and like going through like cinema and like people when movies rely heavily on nostalgia of
Yeah.
whatever it happens to be like. That's why I think Ready Player One hits me so negatively, where
Sure.
it just feels like, oh, you just want to be
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think being in the moment
Mhm.
is where I'm trying
Or
to like.
you have those people who like watch something and then like for 40 years they just can't change their mind. It's like that was always the greatest, it'll never be better, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh come on, there's definitely been better movies since like The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it's okay to say that. It's
Sure.
not blasphemy to automatic like you gotta respect it because
Yeah.
at the time, holy shit, like there's just stuff like that where it's like I think you're just kind of like living in the past. It's okay.
Mhm.
And it's okay if you also just think it's a great movie. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like whatever.
It can be your
yeah,
favorite
it can
movie.
be both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes we almost are like, man, they just don't make them like they used to. They just got to do this. And it's like,
Yeah.
come on.
And
boomers.
obviously, I fall into that too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
they don't make them like they used to. Like, there's always the funny stories like that with Rob Lowe or just like random, like, oh, to like get acting gig was probably like extremely easier, but who knows how it was if
Yeah.
you just went to Hollywood and you're like young and attractive enough, you probably got a role. But now it's just like, oh, it's harder and everything's more expensive. But like, just I want to enjoy. I have a good life, so
Amen.
yeah.
Good.
So
Dude. Rachel McAdams, look
Yeah.
at her. She just brings all the best stuff out of us.
That's right.
This is probably our best interview
yeah,
podcast we've ever
and
done
we've had 2 interview podcasts of each other.
of each other. And it's always better when we talk about Rachel McAdams.
That's right.
She's what brings us together.
Rachel, if you want to come on the podcast, we can
Dude.
interview you.
I would be thriving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, what if we called her up and we're just like, hey, Rachel McAdams' agent, would you mind having her be on the podcast? And they're
Of
just like,
course.
bet.
Of
Be
course.
like,
Here's her number. Call her.
that would be insane.
That would be
I
insane.
have so many questions.
What would you ask?
First, I would start off with, like, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Just as a
Just
mental
like,
state.
whoa.
As
What's it like being, like, a movie star? Does that freak you out?
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with it now? Also, did you know you were a part of, like, life-changing movies when you were making them?
Like when she was filming About Time, she was like, I
Yeah.
know one dude named Nick.
Yeah.
His life's going to change
Or-
by this movie.
Yeah. Like, did she know, like, About Time was going to be awesome?
Mm-hmm.
And she just was like, yeah, of course I got to do that. Or was it just like, oh yeah, my like agent kind of threw and it just happened to work within like the 6 weeks that I needed,
Mm-hmm.
so
she
I
felt
just shot
good
it
about like this
and like
role and
just
this-
completely destroyed my hopes and dreams of like it being this beautifully like curated like
Yeah.
thing. And it was like, oh no, it was actually just like a super easy like shoot. And I didn't even read the script all the way through. It's like, oh God.
Yeah, I wonder, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's, like, movies that actors have done. I'm like, this one I really liked. And it was
Sure.
like, I felt like this was meaningful. And
Yeah.
then, like, no one got it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. And it like, just didn't, it flopped.
Yeah.
And there's some where it's like, I don't know if I really enjoyed doing this movie.
Yeah.
Or, like, not even that, like, the making of it was good, but more of that they didn't enjoy who their character was. But then it comes out and the audience is like, I love this character.
Yeah. True.
And I'm sure there's tons of that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd probably ask her a lot of stuff, but more just on like the human level of how does one deal with X
Mm-hmm.
because you've got to deal with so many things that I don't even have to think about.
Yeah.
That's wild.
As well.
But at the same time, you're still choosing to do it. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There must be something to it, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe it is just completely money and security, but I wonder if it's also, like...
There's a
more
joy to it, I would hope.
I would like
Yeah.
to think so.
Yeah.
So, anyway, look at us.
We're here.
Any other honorable mentions?
No, only you. You're my honorable mention, Nick.
I think the only...
You're the Rachel
I mean, I
McAdams
think
of
I've
this
mentioned
podcast.
all of the honorable mentions, or just like other movies that I liked. I liked Eurovision. I liked... I mean, I think The Vow's good.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy because it's technically based off of like a true story where somebody
really?
like forgot who they were married to,
Whoa.
and then like eventually just fell back in love.
Is that what that's about? That's nuts.
Yep, it's based off a true story. Actually, yeah. I actually know someone as well from like my childhood who dealt with the same thing.
Whoa.
Where
Like,
they like had something fall on them, forgot they were married, and had to like re-fall in love with their husband.
that's insane.
Pretty crazy.
Dude, just imagine that.
I can't and I don't want to.
Yeah.
It also scares me like on a philosophical level of like
Would
who
just
you
be the same
are.
person?
Like, are you still the same person or does like someone else wake up? Like,
Yeah.
because you don't know those things. Like when your brain resets and does that, do you like revert to like a different version of yourself
Yeah.
and then you just like died then?
Yeah.
And then somebody else takes over your body?
Yeah.
Or how does it like, how do you function with, but like I forget stuff all the time. So it's like, I know I'm still me.
Right.
Even
but
though
if
I'm
you
forgetting
like,
stuff.
If you like forgot everything, would you still enjoy board games or movies or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, like to the same level that you do right now.
You want to hear another funny story?
Oh, wow. I do.
Similar thing. Somebody forgot 10 years of their life.
Whoa.
You want to know why they did?
Why?
They pushed too hard when they were pooping.
Stop.
Fun fact.
Don't even.
It's not a real story.
Don't even. Who?
No, I'm being serious.
Did you do this?
There was a news article that I saw.
Mhm.
Somebody went in to, you know,
Do the poop.
drop a deuce, and they pushed so hard that their brain like hard rebooted,
No.
and they came out 10 years just like, whoa, where am I? What the hell's going on?
What happened to him?
It's 1990 and it's not 2000. What's going on? I don't know. Could you imagine?
No. I've had some big, I've gone to the poop a few times.
Did you like lose a day?
No, I've lost. The only thing I've lost is poop.
I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. Here's the other question. Why am I even talking about it?
I don't know, but it's about poop
What?
and memory loss.
I
so
know.
that's
I mean, it's something.
yeah.
I guess the
be
movie
insane.
wouldn't have made as much sense if it went off that story.
No, just imagine that. Like, let's say your wife goes to the bathroom. She comes out. She's like, "Who are you?"
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Woof. And it could happen to any of us.
Yeah. So watch out, pooping.
Just like, squatty potty.
Poop safe. Poop safe.
Poop safe. Be safe.
He must have been on there for a
Stay
long time,
hydrated.
right? Like he
Oh, it
like.
was a she.
Oh yeah. Either way.
I don't know why I remember that. But,
Like
yeah, dude,
they
you
had
just
to
gotta
been
be
like
careful.
just on the toilet and just like really focused and like pushing. At some
Right.
point.
Yeah. And then just Windows is closing. And then just boop, reset, and it's like you're stuck in your body 10 years older. And you got nothing, no memory. It's pretty crazy.
Oh man.
We'll have to do a podcast on it.
We should.
Okay.
What if we like did random news
About poop? Oh, no.
we don't
about
have to
just-
do
Oh,
poop.
okay. Got it.
about just like random stuff and we just like
This podcast needs to end. Yikes. I'm like actually kind of interested in talking about this. I'm like, why? No one...
like okay, each week we come up with like a random news article we found.
Sure.
Doesn't matter how old or whatever.
I know, but what happens if I keep coming up with poop articles? Anyway, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Anyway, how do I transition this back?
I don't know. You've heard
Rachel McAdams killed it,
Yeah.
has killed it, is continuing to kill it. There's probably like 5 or 6 movies on here that she also killed it equally in, and probably could have been picked. We just haven't watched them. And I also think, I'm going to say it like I've said with About Time. I don't think we've seen the best Rachel McAdams movie yet.
Wow. That's
And
high praise.
I think I still haven't seen my favorite movie yet.
Do you think? Wow. You think whatever the best Rachel McAdams movie is, would that be your new favorite movie?
I don't know. Not necessarily.
Because like I would. That's an interesting thought. Because I feel like
My favorite Rachel McAdams movie is The Notebook.
oh, okay, well there you
But
go.
About Time is
Your
as
a movie.
As,
that
yeah,
makes sense. Your favorite.
You know what I mean?
Your favorite movie by an actor.
Yeah.
Can be not your favorite.
That's why I
movie.
was like contemplating, but I was like, I'm not gonna not pick my movie.
Yeah.
But The Notebook is just like my favorite.
Rachel
her
McAdams
being in it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think
That's interesting.
I'm excited to see what more she will do.
Well, I like the way your mind works.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I like the way your mind works. And let's hope that because we're in that time period, that neither of us go to the restroom and forget.
Oh, I got something brewing.
That would be insane. What if we get to like episode like 97? It's like, sorry guys,
Michael
Michael
took a
like
poop.
pooped and like doesn't remember me, so he's like obviously not gonna do the podcast with me. And I could send you like 96 episodes and be like, remember me, Michael,
Oh, I have to-
remember
I have
me.
to listen
We
to
could
the
do the
whole-
vow together,
Yeah.
where I'm like, remember me.
And I'm like listening to
Here's
it.
pictures of us. We're friends, and you're like, I don't even know if I would like you in real life. And I'll be like, you do. Look at these pictures. Like these could be photoshopped. I'm like, it's your wedding. You know, like, I don't know, man. Could be crazy.
And the podcast is the only way. Well, luckily we have this so that
We
if
have,
any,
yeah.
if any
It's like
way
a time capsule.
one of us forgets the other, we always have a way to remember the joys that we've shared
Yeah, it's true.
in a stupid way.
In a really stupid way, but look at us.
Not United.
Not us United. Still got it, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Leave no crumbs.
No
All
crumbs
of
on this
you.
plate.
W.
You've just listened to Not Us United. You can find us under Not Us United on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please leave us a review and consider subscribing to our podcast. You can reach out for future podcast topic suggestions at notusunitedpod@gmail.com.